Projectile motion is an object that rises and falls under the influence of gravity, and projectile motion is the height of the object as a function of time. Projectile motion can be modeled by a quadratic function. Projectile motion involves objects that are dropped, thrown straight up, or thrown straight down. Factors that influence the height of these objects include the height from which the objects are dropped or thrown, whether upward or downward velocity is involved, and of course the pull of gravity downward on the object. On Earth, the acceleration due to gravity is approximately 32 feet per second, or 9.8 meters per second. So this is the general formula that we have for projectile motion, and this is the one and only formula that we're going to be using this week. It's 1/2 acceleration, okay? So 1/2 times 32 is 16. So usually we'll just write this, and usually it's written this way, h of t, which stands for the height at any given time, is equal to 16 t squared plus the initial velocity times t plus, and I usually use h here, the initial height of the object. So this is the function that we want to deal with this week. So let's say I gave you a simplistic problem. Let's just say I gave you h of t is equal to 16 t squared plus, let's say 16 t plus 10. Can you tell me what the initial velocity is? Can you tell me what the initial height of the object is? Can you tell me what the height or what the height of the object would be at time, let's say time equals 1 second? Okay, all of those things you should be able to tell me. For example, this is the initial velocity. So the initial velocity is 16 feet per second. The initial height, so I know that this person was 10 feet off the ground. So it would probably look something like this. This would be 10 feet here. And then this person is going to, I don't know, throw the projectile up, and then it's going to come back down. So all of the problems are going to, the diagrams are going to look very much like parabolas. So in this problem, I know that the initial velocity is 16, the initial height is 10. Where would this object be 1 second after it is thrown or whatever? I didn't say what it was thrown or kicked or whatever. So you would just put 1 in for t. So this would be h of 1, put 1 in for t, so that would be 16 times 1 squared, which is 1, plus 16 times 1, which is 16, plus 10. So this ball, or whatever the object, 32, 42, at 1 second, this ball would be 42 feet up in the air, because 16 plus 16 is 32, plus 10 is 42. So at 1 second, this ball is 42 feet up in the air. That's how we use this formula. This formula is the height at any given time. So any time I give you, you just plug it in here, and it gives you the height at which that object would be. Okay, so that's the basic formula. Know it. We're going to be using it a lot. So this is if we're working with feet. This is if we're working with meters. We're not going to work with meters this week. We're working with feet. So negative, oh, I'm sorry, that should have been negative. Oops. It's been negative 16t squared. It should be the formula should be negative. Sorry about that. That should have a negative in front of it. So negative 16t squared plus the initial velocity times time plus the initial height. So make sure you put that negative in front of there. It really makes a difference. All right. So a model rocket is launched straight upward. The solid fuel propellant pushes the rocket off the ground at an initial velocity of 200 feet per second. Okay, so now I can write an equation. How can I write that equation? Well, the height at any given time is equal to negative 16t squared plus the initial velocity times time plus the initial height. So all I need is to write my equation, all I need is the initial velocity and the initial height. Well, it said it was being shot from the ground. That means the initial height is 0. Okay, so I've got 0 there. And then it tells me that the rocket has an initial velocity of 200 feet per second. Okay, so I put 200 there. So h of t is equal to negative 16 t squared plus 200t plus 0. There's my function. Now, we're not going to be able to use all of the rules that we've had in the last couple weeks where we could factor this thing out, where we could find all this stuff. But we are going to use, this week, we're going to use a graphics calculator. So we're going to use Desmos in order to do this. Now, what type of things should you be doing when you have a problem like this? Okay. So this is what goes through my head. I want to write my equation. Okay. So I've got h of t is equal to negative 16 t squared plus the initial velocity times time plus the initial height, which is 0. So I've got my equation. Draw a diagram. The diagrams are always going to look very much the same. This rocket is going to go up, and it's going to come back down. If I can find three things, if I can find the point where it crosses here, the point where it crosses here, and the vertex, because the vertex in a problem like this is time, and this is height. So this, if I can find the vertex is time, comma, height. That's what the vertex is. Okay, now, I am not going to be able to do this algebraically, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use Desmos this week, and I'll go through this problem. I'm going to take you to Desmos right now. Okay, so let's head off to Desmos. Okay, so now you should be able to see my graphics calculator, or I should be sharing this. Okay, there it is. All right, so I'm going to type in my equation. Now, I can't put h of t in there because it doesn't really understand that. And I really can't put, I guess I could put t in for my variable, but I'm just going to use just x. So I've got negative 16 x squared plus 200 x plus 0. Now, you look at the graph, and it's like, oh man, Mr. Schenk, we were just talking about quadratics. Well, the initial velocity of 200 is really going to make this thing go up a long distance, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of zoom out. And I might go into my graph, and you can change these, I believe. So let's see if I can change this. On my x-axis, I'm going to go from 0 to, let's say, 10, okay? And then my y-axis, I'm going to go from 0. And I always start at 0 because I don't need to go, I don't need to go in the second or third or fourth quadrant. I'm just dealing with the first quadrant. This is a real life problem, so we're just dealing with that. And then since my initial velocity is 200 feet per second, I know it's going to go up pretty high. So I'm going to try 350 just for this. Okay, so now it doesn't look like I'm high enough because I don't see the top of the parabola. Okay, so I'm going to go up to, let's say, 600. Oh, I almost see the top of it. Let's go up to 800. And I'm just guessing. I've never done this problem. Now, it doesn't look like I'm going to see the end of my parabola either. So I'm going to change my x-axis to, let's say, 20. All right, so now I just played around with my piece of graph paper, and this is what I get, okay? Okay, now, this is the important part. Here, this point is 0, 0. So I'm going to write that down because I'm going to go back to my diagram. I'm going to put this in there. So 0, 0. I need to know where it crosses the x-axis over here. 12.5. 12.50. Okay? And then I need to know the vertex. Oh, the vertex, 6.25 and 625. All right? So now I'm going to go back to my diagram, and I'm going to fill those points in. Because once I have that, and if you really understand this, you'll look at this and say, oh man, that is so cool. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. Now, since I left and came back, it gets rid of everything. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to write this down again. I'm going to go, all right, so let's go h of t is equal to negative 16 t squared plus 200 t plus 0. Draw a diagram. All right, so I'm going to draw my diagram. Now, remember, this is height, and this is time. In my diagram, I think I went up to 800 here, right? And I think I went out to 20 here. And that doesn't really matter. But I do know that this rocket went up, and then it came back down. And I wanted to know this point here. So I want to change colors here. This point here was 0, 0. This point here was 12.50. And this point right here was 6.25, comma 625. All right. Now, I can answer almost any question you could ask me now from this. Okay, so here's my questions to you. This is time. This is height. How long did it take for the rocket to get to its maximum height? It took 6.25 seconds to go up 625 feet. So this rocket went up. It took 6.25 seconds to get to its highest point. And that highest point is 625 feet off the ground. And with a parabola, it takes the exact same amount of time to get to the ground. So it takes another 6.25 seconds to hit the ground, or 12.5 seconds. So if I asked you, okay, what is the height of the rocket at time 0? Well, this is time 0. The rocket is 0 feet in the air. What is the height of the rocket at 6.25 seconds? Yeah, 625 feet up. How long did it take the rocket to hit the ground? Well, here's where it hit the ground. It took 12.5 seconds to hit the ground. Now, I could ask you any questions in between there. So, for example, I could say, how high is the rocket at 10 seconds? Well, we know it's at 6.25 seconds. Here it's at 625, but then it starts coming back down. So 10 seconds is probably right in here someplace. So I know it's going to be less than 625. So if I put 10 in here, 10 squared is 100. 100 times, that's negative 1,600 plus, and then 200 times 10 is 2,000. 2,000 plus 0. I think I missed a 0 here, didn't I? Or did no, I didn't. So the rocket is 600 feet up. 600 feet? No, 400 feet. 400 feet in the air, because 1,600 plus 200 gives me 4. So at 10 seconds, the rocket is 400 feet up in the air. So this formula gives us the height at any given time. I love these problems. They make you, it's everything that we did. This is our solutions to the quadratic. We're across the x-axis. This is the vertex. And when you think about it, the vertex cuts the parabola in half. So if it took 6.25 seconds to get to the highest point, shouldn't it take 6.25 seconds before it hit the ground? And it does. Love these problems. Okay, let's try another one. In this problem, it says, Carmen drops a ball at shoulder height from the top of a building as seen at the left. If the ball is at rest and is simply dropped, how long will it take to the nearest tenth of a second to hit the ground? All right. So the initial height is 40. The initial velocity, if you're dropping something, the initial velocity is just 0. Just 0. So my equation, and I could write this out. I mean, I could write it out as h of t is equal to, this never changes, negative 16t squared, because that's gravitational pull on Earth, plus 0t, because the initial velocity is 0, plus 40. So they simplified it out. They got rid of that. But here's what the graph looks like, okay? And this point right here is 1.58, comma 0. So it took 1.58 seconds before the ball hit the ground. Isn't that cool? How projectile motion, you can answer different questions off there. Now, when you graph it out, it looks like a parabola. Why does it look like a parabola? Because it is a quadratic, but it does take in consideration that this is where the ball started, came down, hit the ground. Took 1.58 seconds before that ball hit the ground.